Okay, we are doing business management session 4. So I'm excited to share this with you. There's a lot of key elements in here that really help you, as well as get your business running smoothly, as well as giving you a financial aspect and tracking sheets to different areas and arenas in the business that will really help you and things flow smoothly. Okay, so this is session 4, which we're going over the checklist, which is definitely your running point for new consultants. Literally, there's so many prizes in here that you can earn. I'll show you this. It's this one, the first one. And who does not want to win all these prizes? As well as this is like your main running track of literally your blueprint when you're a new consultant of exactly the only things that you are working on. And I know Mackenzie probably is close to, she's got a good portion of these. So hooray to Mackenzie, shout out. She's won quite a few prizes of these, but we want to make sure that we track them, we work on them so that you make sure that you earn all the prizes as well. And of course, remember, because this is our 4th series, you want to make sure that you fill out your little task lists and submit those to me so that you can earn the pendant as well. So what I want to go over is in this tracking sheet, there's 12 different systems that take you through different opportunities to run along in your business. And the first steps is obviously inventory, making a decision, watching the video on that, how you want to run your business, setting up your website, your first appointments. Now we have a new program as well that for the consistency and really learning. And of course, as you have seen, I know that all of you would attest that when you're at the meetings, you just get so motivated, excited. It keeps you abreast of all the new things going on, as well as the recognition piece of it. And so now when you attend your first 8 meetings consecutively in a row without missing, you get $100 in free products from me. So you definitely don't want to miss that as well. Of course, step 8, all of you remember that is earning your pendant necklace for the boot camp training, which is all of them. And of course, I want to remind you that the consultants that couldn't hop on, you can still watch the recording and get credit, but you need to remember to submit your activity. And then it will show me, obviously, if you watch the video and done that, because then you can go over the purpose of the activity sheet is, what did you take away from it? Where can you grow in this area, or how can I help you? And then, of course, Miss Stacy even just earned her the red, which is step 12. So big shout out to Stacy on that. So this is pretty much straightforward, so I won't go into any more detail on that, but I wanted to make sure that I know since it covers session 4, but it's a key essential that literally when you are beginning, this is something you're going to use all the time. Okay. Okay, really fun. Very passionate about this because when the beginning of my business, I wasn't a huge tracker, and this is something that Leah Laughlin put in place, and it really helped me to know exactly where I was in my business, what activity, the accountability, there's many. And of course, we had Gen X Girls Night Out that you earn, as well as the recognition you get put up on the website. And this is a true tracking, Power X and Gen X. It used to be called Gen X, but Leah and Pam Shaw and Julia Burnett just changed it recently, and now it's called the Power X because the focus is on your beauty experiences and your parties. And so, and I'll explain in just a second when we get into the financial side of it. This program helps you not only in your business in the financial piece of it, but the tracking system is just is phenomenal. I love the simplicity of it, and it's a system that literally helps you to track, be right on track with STAR, and so that's why I love it as well. So I'm gonna go to, I just did a video training that I sent out to you girls a couple days ago, and that was specific training just on Gen X and Party X alone. Okay, but now I'm gonna go into a little bit further detail because, for example, Stacy and seasoned consultants, the recognition and requirements has changed. There's more criteria in it now than it used to be. Only 3 categories before. There was, which essentially is the P6. That is the minimum requirement to achieve it. And of course, you do not want to miss and build your momentum now, because you have to go on our spa limo day that we are having at a seminar. And so this is one of the things of how you can earn it. So that was one thing that really motivated me when I was a consultant. I was like, oh my gosh, seriously, there is no way I'm going to miss out on all the fun as well as the prizes. And of course, if you're out of town, then obviously you still earn all of that as well as the recognition piece of it. So I'm going to go over, this is what it looks like. This is the new requirement sheet for the Power X and Gen X. And I'm just going to briefly go over that. What it is truly, this is a formula. You know, the way that Mary Kay is true success is really about the formula and numbers. So there's no way that you can fail in your business at all unless you literally did nothing with it. And, you know, we have all different levels of consultants, of course. And what I love is there's a track and a path for each and every one of them. And so Power 6 is what we call P6, just to make it's abbreviated. And this says you could have 6 group parties or 30 faces in a month, 12 career surveys or guests to a meeting, and a 600 wholesale order to the company. And why I love this is because the 600, hi Miss Jan, the 600 wholesale is the exact formula over 3 months that will get you to the Sapphire Star level. And this is what I love about it, because you're in front, you're running your business full circle. So down below, right in this area, okay, so here's the requirements. I don't know if you can see it, but right here below in this section of P6, and of course all of them, it tells you like what your weekly focus would be. So one to 2 parties, 2 career surveys, and guests per party to keep you on track to selling 300 per week. When you're selling 300 per week, then over that month obviously gets you to a $600 order. And this is, again, Sapphire Star level. Okay, now we're going to move to the P8. That's 8, of course. You know, this is obviously women that are doing more than a Power Star, 30 faces, you know, red jacket, team leader, DIQ, etc. You're just, your activity is bumped up a notch. And so these higher ones are obviously for those levels, but you don't have to be. Lots of women essentially are not team building. Their focus is you know, powerhouse, just to get in front of many faces and keep your sales really, really high. 8 group parties for P8. And what I love about it, as you can see here, they're all aligned with how many parties and beauty experiences that you have. So P8 obviously is an instant flag, okay, that I've had 8 parties in the month, okay. And of course, your Gen X tracking sheet is going to tell you're going to record each and every week how many throughout the week and throughout the month that you have counted. And again, it could be 5 different friends that didn't even have a party, but let's say you brought 5 to the studio. Then that counts as obviously a skincare class, because it's just 3 or more at a setting at any given time counts as a skincare class, just so you know. Okay, And of course, everything, as you can see, is doubled when it comes to career surveys. So 8 parties, 16 surveys. Then the numbers jump up to 800 wholesale, which keeps you on track for Ruby star level. Okay, now we have P10, which is 10 group parties or 50 faces, 20 career surveys, and 1,000 wholesale. And this level is diamond level star. And then your P12 is 12 parties, 24 and 1,200 wholesale. And that's emerald, okay? So this is what the power program requirements for. So it gives you a running path to, you know, even if it's the sapphire, that's exactly where you're going. And okay, so now we're going to move on to the Gen X tracking sheet, which looks like this. And just really quickly, of course, the submittal is on our unit website app. It's in the website itself, as well as our pinned post in Facebook has your submittal, so where you track them, because Gen X is due every Monday morning by 10 a.m. to me, and it's all your numbers for the week prior. So that Monday through Sunday prior, your numbers are turned in, and that's, as you've seen, the last few weeks, Stacy's very consistent in turning in her Gen X numbers. So of course she's going to get the recognition for that she's earned. And it really gives you accountability to know exactly where you're at. Like I said before, when I did the Gen X training, I would get so down on myself if I got busy with the kids or something was going on and I missed that deadline, and all of a sudden the Gen X came out and it's like, oh my gosh, I totally missed it. Like, okay, it's a flag. We're not doing that again next week. So I love the accountability aspect of it. As well as when I did turn in my numbers and I wasn't exactly where I wanted to be, let's say I had either no sales or no faces that week, I was like, okay, like, if you don't see it till the end of the month, you don't have any idea where you're at. And what I explained to the girls as well in this specific training is it really helps you, because you could be really close by the end of the month and you didn't know it. And let's say girls' night out, or you get the prizes of the gift certificate, if you're out of town as well, of course you're going to get the recognition. But if you're just 1 or 2 faces away, or if your sales are just shy of that bar that you're trying to achieve, you're going to work really hard to all of a sudden achieve that. But if you don't know where you're at, then you have no idea where in your business. So this is very helpful to know exactly where you're at in your business. Sorry, this is distracting me. Okay. So, all the submittal forms are in there and they come directly to me. So, and how that's helpful for me is in a coaching aspect, when, let's say you were in front of 30 faces this month, but you absolutely had no sales. Then it's an instant message to me, there's got to be something that we need to figure out, in your presentation that's going wrong, that has affected this, because that just doesn't happen. So that's why it's important for me, because I can know how to help you in that aspect as well. Okay, so the first top is literally, if you can see here, and I know you all have your booklets as well as the attachment in your email. But in your first piece of it right here, literally you're going to write.
Just a minute, Sandy. Hold on.
What you're going to do is you're going to write the name down, and it has up to 30 names on there, and then right above the name as if there was a sale. And again, we could meet with somebody and she specifically didn't order from you yet, or she didn't purchase, and so you're still going to write their name down, because that tracks how many faces. So this category is your retail sales, as well as above it. And so there's 2 different numbers that you're going to track in these first 2. So all your faces and your sales at the very top. Then right below it is your retail sales, in 4 weeks time. Okay, I'm hearing a lot of background noise, so can you make sure you have it on mute if you don't mind, please? If you haven't yet. Okay, so here in this one is new orders, reorders, and a total, and a wholesale order. So right here for the 4 weeks of your month. So right here we're in week 1 because it's a brand new month for March, and so always at the top of mine I literally write March 2018, and then any reorders from existing customers is going to go in there. You're going to total that up, and you're going to track if you happen, because everybody's different. Like, for example, for me, I always order at the very end of the month, and I only order once per month. Okay. So, of course, my wholesale, I'm not going to have any because I didn't place an order to the company for that week. So this is where you're going to track your sales and your wholesale order to the company. It's pretty straightforward. What I love it is literally your entire business is all on this Power X tracking sheet. Okay. Any interviews that you did, and of course, there's always an interview done, because we have the marketing survey, and then right after that is where you schedule the call. We send Leah's video out, and then we get their opinion of the video as well as the marketing plan itself. So literally it says again by the week how many guests or how many marketing that you did, and it's kind of 3/4 down. And this one is Y means yes, they're going to sign up like right now, or they've said they're going to sign up, and maybe they're signing up in a couple days. N means no. M means maybe. So just circle so that you know that how many you've done by the week. And then down below at the very bottom is your book 10. And that's where you categorize all your bookings. And I just want to point out to you as well, I have a brand new form that has a lot more room to actually track your book 10. And that's in the pinned post as well. With all the hostesses' names and their phone numbers. And again, book 10 is always due by the 5th of every month. So what it does is between the 1st and the 5th, like for example, I'm not working, other than working with you girls, my focus even as a director is always bookings the 1st through the 5th, because that sets your entire month off strong with bookings on your books. Because again, Mary Kay Ash would say, if you don't have any bookings, you're completely out of business, right? And so you just want to make sure that this is where you're tracking. And again, there's a larger spreadsheet to actually track that if you would like. Okay, down below in this corner here, this is your month to date totals. So what I do is, okay, let's say I saw 5 faces today. I'll put 5. And then let's say I had single peoples. I'll just do tally marks right next to it. So then throughout the month, I know exactly how many faces that I've have in so far. And so it's really easy to give you your month to date glimpse right here in this box. Okay. This also helps you track towards your STAR goal is, okay, I've done 2 $600 orders. And so this is how close I am and what your goal is. Like what I like to do is we have our big STAR poster. What I like to know at the beginning of the STAR quarter is, like, for example, Stacy and the rest of the girls will say, okay, this is what my goal is. And then I circle it on our unit poster of all the prizes. And then I know exactly this is what you're working for. Because if you don't have, you can't shoot for the moon and land amongst the stars if you have no idea where you're going, right? So at least have a goal of where you would like to be, even if it seems so far away, but it's really helpful to know, where you're going and what you would like. And then the very bottom left-hand corner right under your month-to-date glimpse is your parties that were booked. Are they coached and ready for next week? That helps you in that. So that's pretty straightforward. Always, again, Monday, they're due to me, even if it's zeros. One thing that Leo really taught, that I embraced is, even if they're all zeros, learning that accountability, because really it takes about 90 days to form a habit. To your mind, just everything to wrap around. It literally takes the consistency of it. So once you get in the habit of turning your numbers in, no matter what they are, then that helps you to learn, okay, simply the Gen X and Power X tracking sheet. It just helps you. It just is a reminder that no matter what, you're going to turn your numbers in. Okay, so now we're going to cover the next page, which is how here's some ideas on how you can finish your STAR. We are in the third quarter of the year because we're in a fiscal year. So with Mary Kay, we end at June 30th, and July 1st is our brand new year. So we kind of have two years in Mary Kay, because that's when we go to seminar in July, and so that's where all of our achievements for the entire year from June year prior to the current June now, that's how everything is tracked and rewarded when we all go to Dallas. So the next quarter ending, which is third quarter, ends March 15th. So, you could have loved to, you could be on target to finish, but you still need a little bit more. Again, you have 2 weeks to actually finish, March 15th. March 16th is when the new quarter starts. And so if you're not quite there yet, this would be a great way to help you reach your STAR. But again, we kind of went over goals a little bit. Is the very first step is what is your goal? What level would you like to achieve? Whether that's sapphire all the way up to pearl. And what I want to point out as well, that I know because some of you are new, is let's say you achieve sapphire STAR, which is the $1,800 wholesale. Okay. Let's say you get a brand new team member and she places a qualified order. Qualified order means 600 or above. So it's our pink ice winners. Okay. So if you have, let's say, one, and of course it could be more than that, you have one, then you automatically, when someone comes in under you with a qualified order, if you are a STAR consultant, you automatically, without doing any extra work, you're automatically a Ruby STAR level and above. Okay, so we'll use Stacy an example because she bronze medaled this month. Yay, way to go. Okay, so let's say Stacy's a sapphire level and she achieved that on her own with all her qualifies in, then she would automatically bump up to a diamond or an emerald, even though she was only a sapphire, automatically bumps you up to another level. So I just wanted to explain that you can achieve even higher than that when you have team members that come in qualified under you, which is pretty awesome because the prizes are phenomenal. And of course, as you can see, and I think Diane and Stacy would agree with me, the STAR prizes are always awesome, but they're even better literally when they arrive. There's so much more that, like, the picture can't show exactly how great they are. And so I just wanted to point that out. Okay, step 2 is, where are you? So again, how does your Power X tracking sheet correlate? Is you know exactly what your numbers are and what you have in for the quarter. So this is why it's really helpful, so that you know exactly where you are in your business. Okay. How much more, of course, do you need to finish? How much more on a daily basis can you break that down? So again, your Power X program will help you to break out by how many either parties or how many faces that will help you to reach your goal. How many qualified team members because let's say, Stacy wants a prize in emerald or pearl. She could actually get to that because she's obviously moving into, she's already in leadership now. Okay, So that will help you figure all that out. There is literally 21, and of course there is even more than this, but these are some ideas that will help you if STAR is a goal of yours. It may not be, this is totally irrelevant. You might not want to achieve STAR, and that is okay. This is absolutely not for everybody, but if it is in your goals, these are some ways that will actually help you to actually finish. So for example, we were talking about book 10, you know, and maybe you have that you did 5 books. That's huge. That is great. So you have 2 weeks to get some parties and some appointments on your books. Book 3 guests to your meetings and invite. You can give them a gift certificate for coming, help you with your goal. Also, silent hostesses are great, especially for working women. Let's say I'll just use this. One of our consultants is a college student. And so what she did was she had her mom that worked in a bank take what we call a silent hostess sheet. So literally it has, and if any of you girls need it, I have it on my computer. But literally it's a picture at the very top of the spreadsheet. And what it says is it just shows a picture of the Skin Vigorate brush. And then her mom sold 10 of them for her. And then the 11th person, like for example, if her mom did it for her, let's say it was somebody else, then her mom gets a Skin Vigorate brush free. And then you already have 10 Skin Vigorate brushes sold. It could be satin hands. It could be, you know, it could be variation of what you decide, but you can give those to either one or several different people, and you can literally achieve STAR just by saying, okay, here's a catalog. And okay, I'm still hearing a lot of background noise. Please, can you just mute your phone? Okay. And so what you do with that is literally you could achieve STAR in literally one day, because they could go to work and all of their coworkers, like hers did, she literally got her inventory package in a qualified order just literally from her mom selling stuff, because she of course was in school, and so she couldn't get in front of 30 faces to finish. And so this was a great way to actually achieve that. Okay. Demo satin hands, microdermabrasion, or the repair set. That is a great way that, for example, we have a consultant that has literally did Gen X since the beginning of her career. She has a very busy job, working about 60 hours a week at her other job. And she can never get in front of anyone to do appointments because she's just very busy. But she can still achieve it because she's always doing qualified orders every month. And how that is achievable is literally on her break and outside orders that she does is she'll just sample them really quick on her lunch break, or she'll go outside, or she'll be at the gym. Literally, I went with her to the gym. And what we did is, while we were getting dressed right before the class started, is she invited me to go with her. And then we got a few different people in front of us, literally inside the women's locker room where people are changing. And we just, kind of what we call a mini hand facial, just right on the hand. And especially the repair set, oh my gosh, like people are like, oh my gosh, I could see the incredible results. Or even microderm, when you do it on one hand and not the other. The product sells itself, and so people are sold. And so this is a great way that if you're working, say, go on your lunch break, it's still very, very achievable. And the results of our products show instantaneously. And they can see the difference when there's one not on the other side. Another one is the 24-24 challenge. So you can sell 24 products in 24 hours. It's another great, easy way that you can even do without having appointments. Let's see. One of them that I want to point out, we just don't have the time to go over all of them, but you can look and go through all of them yourself. But number 9, which is sell STAR gift certificates. That one, what I wanted to explain is, for example, what you can do is you're selling gift certificates of Mary Kay. And for example, you wanted to sell somebody $125 gift certificates, you could sell them, uh, they could pay $100 and get $125 worth of gift certificates if they are helping you with your STAR goal. So that's how it works, is you break out the number. Like, for example, this is just a generic special that I have for STAR packages is you get $125 worth in gift certificates to spend, and you only have to pay $100. And why this is so incredible is, I'm telling you, I've literally had customers before, and this is the same way with department stores, is literally they forget they even had them. I sold them $100 and they never even spent their gift certificates. So I mean, it just washes out to be a great way for you. And of course, not everybody does, but it's not any different than when we do a closing sheet. And at the end, we say, okay, these are today's specials. And if you sold a roll-up bag, you're giving them, you sold $200. So it's equivalent of what the sale price would be, what would be your hostess gift, right? So let's say whatever it is that they chose that they wanted free, or, you know, where you do $75 worth for $35, you're still giving a discount. The same applies, but you're having them buy gift certificates so that they can give to friends or family members that birthdays, or husbands will buy them for their wives, because then they can choose what she wants. So I just wanted to point that out. It could be $75. They get $75 worth for only $50. And so they give you the money up front and you give them a gift certificate. And we have all increments of gift certificates out there. So if any of you want to do that, then at any given time, just let me know. I can forward them to you to print out. So this essentially is ways to get you to your STAR. Okay, so now next up is our weekly plan sheet. And I know many of you have seen this in your new consultant orientation packages, but you can literally print this on InTouch each and every week. But this is not only helpful for you in the beginning of your business, but it's truly a success record to help you stay on track. Because if you don't have your day planned out, and you know, oh, I'm going to go to the grocery store today, I'm going to say yes to my daughter's activity, I'm going to get on a conference call with Christy, I'm going to pick up this Voxer message. There's no boundaries of guided times for Mary Kay, that your goals are constantly never going to be achieved. Because in this business, you have to be really disciplined to say, okay, even if I work a full-time job, when in here, even if it's your meeting night or a Saturday, when can I fit Mary Kay time in? But if you don't actually put a boundary around it, our pink bubble, then it's not, you know, you have to if you really want this business to pay, like as a business or an executive income, whatever your goals are, of course, everybody's different, but it's going to pay you exactly what you put into it. And so what I want to say is, because if you don't have a high amount of discipline, you know, my mom could call me, you know, I could pick up the phone. Okay, well, now my booking time is down to 45 minutes. So what I've learned from the beginning of my business as a consultant is to really treat my business like a business. And so when you treat it like a business, if I were to show up for work, let's say I worked at Target, and if I have to show up at 9 o'clock this morning, then, you know, then I'm going to get paid for it because I showed up. So Mary Kay is exactly the same way. Is the efforts that you put into it, it will really pay you, but you actually have to know, like, when can I put that for example, like, one thing that I do, and I did this even before I became a director, is I'd have my, you know, my jam sessions, my bookings. And so literally somebody in the unit could box me, somebody could call me, whatever it is. And that is my booking time that cannot, no ifs, ands, or buts. literally, can I answer the phone? And so it helps you to really stay focused, because let's say you only have an hour that day to work on Mary Kay. So your results will be so much higher if you really put that power and effort and a boundary to protect it, because your kids could be, you could have 5 minutes left, and have a reward system if you have children. Like, what I'd say is, okay, it's mommy's time to book. How, for them helping you and not interrupting me, how can I do this? Because then it helps you to actually, they're grateful that you're this business you can run from home. And so, they'd rather have you home than having them put in, if they had to go to daycare, right? And so that's how you actually discipline and focus and run your business as if you were really working somewhere else. And okay, there's times where you might have to go in the closet, you might have to go in your car, you might have to go to Starbucks, whatever it is. But when you actually know, okay, this is my Mary Kay time, this actually helps you to achieve your goals. So this is why it's so important, because I could say, oh, I need to go to Costco this week, but I have all these things, so it's not going to fit until I pencil it in maybe on Wednesday or Thursday. And so that will really help you when you actually have it marked on your calendar. Okay, so now we are going to go into money management. My battery's getting low. So, okay, so now money management is the next one we're going to go over. And this is really, really critical. We have, not just we as a unit, but in Mary Kay in general, women can just really not treat their businesses like a business, and can see where their actual money went in Mary Kay. And so here's where you can really have a fallout in your business if you don't really manage your money. So this area not only helps you in Mary Kay, but it really helps you if, let's say you don't have, sorry, I'm just going to keep talking and plug me in. Okay, so this is where you can actually become better at your financial situation, and okay, here we go, at home as well. So this really helps you overall. And so this is actually tied to our PowerX and our GenX program as well. And the way, of course, all of you know that there is a 50% discount with Mary Kay. Okay, so 50% profit. Your 50 is, of course, your investment into the product or in items that you've already sold. And so when you actually do it as a 60-40 split, how this actually happens is you, or we're going to break this down, is 40% and 60%. So 60% is what you've actually already sold. And so 50 of it is reinvesting. So let's say I sold a miracle set for $95. Okay, I'm going to want to replace that. So when she orders that from me again, I'm going to replace it again. That's 50%, because what I've done with my inventory is all my customers, I have everything in stock for them. So then when I know what their ordering patterns are and their favorite items. So you want to be able to provide that for them for next time when she orders it again. And so when you're putting it right back in, that's your automatic 50. And then where the 10% really helps, that a lot of consultants actually do not do or track, is if you were to put 10% versus a 50-50, if you were to do the extra 10%, you would have the money for career conference, you would have the money for seminar, you would have the money for when PCP comes out. That was when the company mails the newest catalog to your customers for you. If you did it on your own, it would cost you at least twice as much to do it if you were to mail it. Let's say it was somebody out of state. But your customers, to give them that customer service, to be able to, they want you to be able to see the brand. You want to keep them on trend. They want to see the brand new catalogs when it comes out. You don't even have to worry about mailing it to them. And so when you have money for PCP, because it costs you literally 70 cents for a catalog, and it comes, and the Mary Kay does all the marketing for you. They mail it for you. They do everything for you. And so when PCP comes, let's say you need washcloths, whatever it is, you have that 10% that's just like a Mary Kay savings account, so that you can actually have a ledger that says, okay, 10% goes in here and 50% goes into my business. And that's what we call a 60-40 split, because then that's your savings account that all of a sudden you spent your extra 10 month to month to month. You never have. Then when it comes time for whatever you need in your business, then you actually have it sitting there. So that's why it's important to do it by the 60-40. So then you always have that savings in there. It could be, we have section 2 that's literally a couple dollars or less. You could get, a bunch of lip gloss samples. And so then you have that money, which is section 2 items from your 10% to cover those expenses. The 40 is where it goes into your checking account, okay? And what I do is I have a separate checking account for Mary Kay. So if you don't have one yet, and you're obviously, a lot of you are already brand new on here, you want to make sure you have a separate one for just your Mary Kay cash flow. When it comes to the point of your money in your account, then there's nothing wrong with, let's say I have a bill coming up. I have something major, and all of my Mary Kay profits, that's why a lot of us do Mary Kay, they need it for a financial piece of it to help them with supplemental income each and every month. So I need all of my 40%. So transfer it out so that you have that ledger of how much profit you had in your business. Your husband might want to, your husband or your significant other might want to actually see, as well as it's important for you to know where you're at in your business. All of it goes into now my checking account number 1, which is the entire family, or all of our. So then you can move it out, but you want to initially put it in your Mary Kay, a checking account. So then you know how much you profited, and then you can just easily move over. Where this 40% goes is, your personal fund money, your savings account, your household, whatever that is, you decide. But I wanted to explain the difference of managing your money between a 60-40 split. And then there's a graph in here that shows you the different services and supplies. 130 per month is extremely high, but this is just giving you just a breakdown of different things that you could have used your 10% on. Okay, now to the 60-40 split is on the left-hand side. The right-hand side right here is the Power X program. So let's say you did 4 parties. It shows you the breakdown of the 40, the 50, and the 10. Then the P6, the P8, and the 12. And so I love that literally you have a breakdown just by doing the Power X activity. It shows you exactly the retail and the profits of your business. And then right here is a small outline that will help you, because let's say we have women that have put they invested in their business, and they have inventories and products on hand. Even if they don't have a full store, that's definitely an investment, okay? And you could have your credit card that you're paying down each and every month. And so how much from your business would you like to pay off, so that, let's say, you have a 0% interest maybe for the very first year. And so how can you break it down, and how can you pay it off by a specific date? So when you do the 60-40 split, this will really help you to know exactly how you can accelerate and how you can easily achieve it. But again, it all ties to goals. If you have no idea, I'm just going to pay it off just whenever, then you haven't really set up to be financially free, right? So this is just really helpful to helpful piece of it to actually, there's something in our mind that not only do we speak what our goal is, but when you actually write it out, there's a higher percentage that you actually follow through with it when you act, when they're correlated and both together of doing that. And of course, in this money management, if there's any questions at all, I am more than happy to help you with that. The very last page, where did that go? It's right here, the tax info. Okay, so the last thing we're going to work on is the tax sheet. And this is something that I would literally make a copy of, and we have the soft copy as well, where you just print this out. But this is, you want 12 of these for your Mary Kay year. So how I do it is I have one for each and every month. And so, for example, for March, what I'm going to have this is listed as March. All of my receipts, all of my postage, my Mary Kay shipping sheet that comes inside your order. It has the shipping amount, how much section 2 you ordered, literally has it for you. Now your cell phones can be a tax write-off. So what's your cell phone bill each and every month? I literally don't have a receipt for my cell phone bill because it's you only need one for your tax year, but I don't make a copy of it for each and every single month to be stapled for here. But, you know, when we go to career conference, of course, your registration is going to be a tax write-off. You know, you had to buy stamps to mail out some catalogs, whatever it is. And this has guidelines on here for you. So this is a great worksheet to help you each and every month to just literally staple your receipts. So, for example, like Monday is my tax appointment, Monday night coming up. So I have one for each one. And so it really is easy to just pull your tax sheet with your receipts for the entire year. And so I highly recommend just to literally keep some type of filing system with your tracking sheet and your receipts and keep those together at all times, because then it's really, really easy at the end of the year when tax time comes that, you know, all your receipts are together as well as any expenses. You know, there could be expenses on here that you had no idea that you could write off in your business. And so it's really helpful for you to have this worksheet to know exactly what you can write off and that you can start tracking. So you want to make sure you keep your receipts as well as these tax sheets. Of course, travel expenses, even dry cleaning. So that is our business and money management training. So I hope you have a wonderful weekend, and congratulations to Diane for already being on all four sessions from 1 to 4. And I will talk with you girls soon.
Bye, Christy. Thank you.
You're welcome.